to come back and say, hey, look, it's a world-class facility in a world-class city. Let's show it off. And this is as good as any track and field facility you're going to find in the country.
Well, expand a little bit more about your experience with track and field in this city, because you grew up running track. You did it in college, qualified for the Olympics. So give the viewers a sense of what these events and what this sport means for this city, but particularly for youth sports in this city.
Well, I think for youth sports in this city, one thing it really does, it keeps you in shape. Because everybody now, you tell kids you want to exercise, you want to stay in shape. Everybody cannot play baseball. Everybody cannot play basketball. Everybody can't play football. But you can run. You can run. And it gets you in a great, great frame of mind. It's you against the person next to you. It's a one-on-one, except for the relays, of course. But basically, it's me against you. And it gives you a chance to stay in great shape. It gives you a chance to run. And also, if you're a big, strong person, you can throw. You can throw the discus. You can throw the weight. You can throw the javelin. More and more youngsters are picking up the sport. And this facility, I want to say this about the Chicago Park District. They've done a wonderful job of opening up this facility in the mornings for anybody to come in here. So
is that right?
Yeah. You have senior citizens coming here in the morning and walk around. They have youth programs. They have Chicago Park District programs that are getting more and more youngsters involved. And I think once the youngsters get in a facility like this and they can see, hey, it doesn't cost me much to run. All I need is a pair of shoes, a pair of spikes. Instead, you don't have to buy equipment.
Right.
You can run, and someone to show you the correct way to do it is an easy thing to do. And what I really love so much about it, it keeps you in great physical condition. Like you see right here, the long jumps. You have to be in great physical condition to do this, and it'll keep you in great physical shape. And you don't want your youngsters being overweight, and this gives you something to shoot for. It gives you something to be a part of. And I just think it is a wonderful sport because, let's face it, hitting a baseball is a hard thing to do. Putting a ball in the hoop is a hard thing to do. You can come out and run. It's not that hard to do.
You're looking at Sophia Whitman from Connecticut and the women's pole vault. We will sprinkle in the field events throughout our coverage over the course of the next few days. And, of course, we'll have all of the track events covered live for your viewing pleasure.
She made that with ease. She made that. Now, you talk about form. That is a great form as she goes over and gets a high five from her coach. That's a perfect form. And the thing that's changed a lot from when I was running track, we didn't have the video right away. She goes right to the coach, and he shows her how well she did. Now, if you can continue to do this, getting over that bar, you can see right there she goes right to look at her form, but that was a thing of beauty.
Well, you're talking about how the barrier to entry in this sport is very low. It requires shoes and a little ambition.
Yeah, a little ambition, a lot of work. I mean, it's not easy, but once you decide this is what I want to do, you can have a lot of fun, and you can make a living out of this. I mean, you go to Europe, track and field is huge in Europe.
And in the winter in Chicago, there's not a ton you can do. However, Kenny, over the last couple of days, we could have held this thing outdoors.
Yeah.
Unseasonably warm temperatures in the Windy City right now. It eclipsed 60 degrees yesterday. Today, not quite as warm. It's about mid-50s, and we'll dip back down into the 30s tomorrow. But
still,
unbelievable weather outside.
Well, because they knew the Big East was coming. Mother Nature wanted to make sure the Big East had a lot of sunshine. So here we go again.
And this is Khalid Knott from UConn.
Boy, look at the concentration.
Did you ever do this?
No. I could never.
Ever try it?
No.
Really?
I know I couldn't do this. You have to be a special athlete to do this. I mean, you talk about an athlete. These are great athletes. A little bit choppy.
Yeah, explain what just happened.
You know, as she was getting up there to put the pole in the vault, you could see she was a little choppy. Her steps were a little bit off. So her steps were a little bit off, but she knew it too. That's why she did not attempt to jump. So you had to have you had to be in perfect stride, perfect form. You can't, at the end there, she started chopping a little bit, and so she just dropped the pole because she did not want to hurt herself. But she'll get another chance, so
right.
That's okay. One thing about track and field, especially when you're running, you have to have everything perfect. Repetition is so important.
At what age did you start running official events?
I would say 12. I knew baseball was my first love. A lot of people think it's basketball. Baseball and track, 1A and 1A plus. And I knew I was fast, and at school, one of the janitors said, you should run track. He said, because you're fast on a baseball diamond, going around the bases. Have you ever thought about track? I said, oh, okay, I'll try it. Went to the Park District. Mom signed me up. And I said, okay, let's run it and let's try it.
This is Megan Ladd from St. John's.
Didn't make it.
Unable to clear 3.6 meters.
Well, and these young men right here, if you switch over to your long jump, you talk about athletes, because you have to have speed, and then you have to have it be a jumper. And that's not an easy thing to do. I've tried that, and I was like, you know what? I guess for the speed events. Because not only you have to have your speed, then you have to jump and be a jumper as well.
But you were a basketball player. You couldn't combine the two?
I could jump up, not straight.
There's a difference.
There's a big difference between jumping up in the air and jumping straight out.
Rachel Mason from UConn gets set.
Boy, UConn have been so dominant since coming back to the Big East.
Yeah, they have.
So she's getting a good grip, making sure her grip is perfect.
Clears it with ease.
With ease, yeah. And do you notice, how smooth and her steps were precise? You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up. You want to do it nice and smooth and repetition. Make sure you do it the same way every time. We saw earlier, if your steps are off and you're chopping, you're not going to make it.
Here's Mallory Malls, also from UConn.
Well, my hat's off to these young ladies, these student athletes. 1, 2, 3.
3.6 is her personal best.
Oh, that's easy. But see the 13 steps and see how smooth she was, what I'm talking about? The rhythm, the smoothness, how she just like glides right there. She was just perfect, just gliding right there, and she made that with ease.
So 3.6, her personal best set back in late January at the Dr. Sander Invitational Columbia Challenge. So it appears she may be headed for a new personal best here this weekend in Chicago.
Going into the long jump.
That's Mark Morrison from UConn.
You talk about the athlete, look at his upper body. Yeah. Remember, I told you, you can get into great shape participating in track and field. That's an example right there. And when I was coming up, remember they used to tell us, oh, you don't want to get too big, too bulky because it hurts your speed. But what it does, it helps you be more explosive, especially in the start.
Here's Callie Knott once more.
Oh, man. She cleared that by a mile.
Well, her personal best is 3.95 meters.
You notice the space between the bar and her?
Yeah.
I mean, you could see the sunlight outside.
No doubt.
That's how high she was able to get up.
And the sun is shining today.
February in Chicago.
Amazing, isn't it?
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, we'll take whatever we can get as Megan Ladd, who missed her first attempt, to get set for her second.
I'm sure she went back and looked at the video.
Yeah.
Which is something you have now that we didn't have back in the day, as I'll say. I like the socks, different colors.
Neon yellow and pink.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Well, look at the concentration.
It's almost like a sport I'll relate it to is golf from the mental side.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own idiosyncrasies of their routine.
Yeah, and so you can see as she approached, her steps were off.
Yeah.
So you knew right away she was not going to make that jump. But you're right, the mental aspect.
Yes.
The routine. When you get in there, you have to block everything out. When I would get in the blocks, I would hear nothing. Just wait for the gun. Wait for the gun. That's all I wanted to hear.
How'd you settle your nerves? Because I'm sure you had them, right?
Yeah, you know what? I had them, but I settled them because I had the fear of losing, and I don't like to lose. I didn't like to lose. So I would get in. I would just shake my legs off, shake my arms, and just listen to the gun. Some of the guys next to me, especially when I was a teenager, and I was going up against older men, they would say things to you to try to rattle you. And, I had one guy, I won't say his name because he was a well-known guy, and he told me, "Are you ready to eat my dust, young fella?" And after I beat him, I was like, "What did you say?" But you're right. The mental aspect is so important in all sports.
Yes.
But especially when you're going to jump that high, because you never know what happens. It's going to happen. So you have to be mentally prepared.
This is Michael Johnson from UConn doing the high jump as part of the men's heptathlon.
Yeah, he didn't get his back. He didn't arch his back high enough. And you see, he was talking to people in the infield, and that's exactly what he said. You see where he pointed to his back? I didn't get my back to arch it high enough.
And back to Megan Ladd for her third attempt at 3.6 meters.
So I'm sure she's really concentrating. Like, look, I know I can do this. I've done it to get here. So I've done it in practice. I've missed two, but the third time is going to be a charm.
3.75, her personal best.
So that's what, if I'm hurt, that's what I'm thinking. I can do this. Forget the first two. It's a brand new day.
It is such a mental thing, isn't it? You got to wipe away, have a quick memory.
Yeah. Boy, you look at it, you can tell she's really trying to get into it mentally. Nope.
Okay, so
and let me tell you why. I knew from the beginning because when she started to run, she skipped. She didn't go, instead of going straight, she took a little skip.
Okay.
It was very little, but when she started, she did a little. I saw a little hitch, like a little skip. But it's easy for us to sit up here and say what she should have done and shouldn't have done. But you go down there and try to do that. That's hard to do.
Oh, Kenny, I wouldn't even try it. Are you kidding me?
I give her all the credit in the world. And so she's missed three.
Yep.
So you just have to wipe that away and say, look, I'm here for a reason.
Right.
I'm a champion for a reason. I wouldn't be here if I couldn't do it. Now, let's see when she stopped. Right there. See, there was a little bit of hitch, I thought. It wasn't as smooth as some of the other competitors. Like when she started, I saw like a little bit of hitch, just a little bit. I don't know if that threw her timing off, but right away, I didn't have a good feeling because I just thought it was a little bit of a hitch, a little skip. But again, easy for me to talk about it sitting up here. To go down there and do what these student athletes are doing is just incredible. You see, like she's closing her eyes, talking to herself. The mental aspect.
This is Sophia Whitman from Connecticut. Her first attempt at 3.7 meters. By the way, for those of you waiting on the track events, we've just been notified that they will begin at 2:10 Central Time. And we'll start with the unseeded section of the women 5,000 meter.
Well, I just love the way that you look at her face. Earlier, we had her talking to herself. She's really trying to get into it mentally.
Podium finisher in the pole vault at last year's championships, clearing 3.5 meters. Her first attempt at 3.7.
Oh, her foot hit it. You see, she had a great approach, but her left foot hit the bar. She didn't get the foot over. It was a wonderful approach. And she goes right to the coach to look right at the video. You see, watch the approach. The approach is good. Now watch the left foot. She's up, but see that foot, and she comes right there. As she was coming over, that foot got it. Here we go again with UConn.
Callie not making her attempt at 3.7. Defending Big East champion in this event. 3.85 meters around this time last year here in Chicago.
Did she look like she was hesitating to you as she got to ready for the jump there? Let's see it again. Oh. Okay, we go back to the high jump. Little bit short.
Henrik Rosario making that attempt from Marquette. As we head back to the women's pole vault and take a look at Rachel Mason.
Hey, one thing about the high jump, it seems to me that the women do a much better job getting over that bar than the guys do.
Interesting.
Like they can arch their back better than a lot of guys. It's just such a difficult event to do.
I know you're not a spine surgeon, but do you have any inkling as to why that might be?
I don't know. It just seems like that's the way it seems to be. And I've talked to a lot of young ladies. Oh, wow, she made that with ease.
Yes, she did.
A lot of young ladies always tell me, yeah, we can do it a lot easier than the guys can. Boy, she made that with ease. Another high five from the coach. Boy, I wish I would have had the video back then that they have today. Go right to the coach. You can work on anything right away. You know exactly what you need to do, what you can't do. Especially coming out of starting blocks. You would really like to go right back to that.
Yeah, the immediate feedback.
Yeah. Okay, here we go again with the high jump.
Henrik Rosario, 1.77 meters, and he can't clear it.
Can't clear it again.
It's the UConn Huskies show right now over at the women's pole vault as Mallory Malls gets set.
Made it. Listen to the scream. I think Mallory had her family here because she had a lot of people screaming when she cleared it.
Balls clears 3.7 meters.
It's been the UConn Husky show, as you said. They have been dominating this event and, of course, the entire meet the last couple of years.
She gives a great fist bump over to the viewing audience. That's just over to her left, and now her teammate Sophia Whitman. Her second attempt.
Like I said before, I like her concentration. You see, she looks down, trying to psych herself up, close her eyes, and just visualize yourself being a champion.
I think she just whispered to herself, over. And she does it.
She does it, yeah. The whisper is answered. It didn't come down. She got over. Look at her teammate. Give me a high five.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. As we dominate this event.
There's no pictures on the scorecard, right?
Right. Hey. It's like a swinging single, swinging bunt in baseball. Scorecard says base hit. Oh, this is a great shot. You saw her looking at the video.
Third attempt for Rosario at 1.77 meters, trying to draw some energy from the surrounding spectators.
And he got the energy and he made it. You saw the crowd got into it. He asked for some help and he got it. So maybe that's what he needed. He started to clap his hand, tried to get the crowd into it, and that's exactly what happened, and he made it.
Kelly Knott's second attempt.
Boy, she made that with ease.
3 clears in a row for the Connecticut Huskies.
Boy.
At 3.7 meters.
They are dominating this event. And she made that with ease. It's going to take quite an event to knock them off.
And our athletes are getting ready for the men's 5,000 meter as we get set for the first event in the track side of our 2024 championships. Starting in lane 1, Drew Allen from Xavier, Tommy Elwood from DePaul, Aiden Amshoff from Xavier, Ryan Cradle from Villanova, Eric Board from Xavier, Mason Krieg from DePaul, and Jack Tavaglione from Villanova rounds out the first heat of 2 of the men's 5,000 meter.
And remember, in this event, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Is that right?
Yeah, because you don't want to burn yourself out too soon. You just take your time, let someone else set the pace. I've always been a big guy that said, hey, you know what, I'll let you set the pace. Here's your break.
So Jack Tavaglione paces the field at 33.62 seconds.
Well, you can see he's taking his time, nice smooth pace. You don't want to go out too soon. You don't want to use all your energy because you have a long way to go.
Tavaglione, a sophomore from Califon, New Jersey, redshirted last year and made 5 starts for the Villanova cross-country team during this fall.
We're doing 14:46.10 at the Penn State National Open. He continues to lead the pack.
And we're back to the women's pole vault. Sophia Whitman at 3.8 meters, her first attempt.
Not quite.
Opening track event of this championship. This is the unseeded men's 5,000 meters, heat 1 of 2. And Tavaglione still paces the field. His last split at 2:19.69 in the 800.
Well, he looks strong. Can you keep that pace up?
Right.
Allen is right behind him.
Callie Knott's first attempt at 3.8.
Boy, didn't get up at all. Boy, she was not able to get up.
And you saw some disappointment on her face afterwards.
Yeah.
That's probably because her personal best is 3.95. That was in May of 2022 at the Big East Outdoor Championships.
Jack is still leading the way.
4:04.76, the last split.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Here's Rachel Mason. 3.8's the number.
Didn't get it. Almost. The 3.8 seemed a little bit difficult.
Yep. It's an all Husky show though over there.
Oh yeah.
So they're guaranteed.
Guaranteed points.
Absolutely.
All right, now we're going to have a change in leadership here.
It's Ryan Creedell, the fifth year out of Geneva, Illinois.
Homecoming of sorts.
Absolutely.
Like I said, you don't want to use up all your energy too soon because you have so many laps to go.
Creedell competing in his Big East Indoor Championships about 45 miles from home.
There was 15 laps to go.
.8 for Sophia Whitman, her second attempt. Mallory Malls just cleared it.
Well, I didn't like that approach when she got right to the ready to take the jump. The approach looked a little off.
Taking a look back at Mallory Malls and her attempt at what she cleared.
Beautiful.
Just hung on until the very last second.
Yeah, and see, that approach has to be perfect.
Yep.
And if you're off just 1/2 of a step, then when you go up, you're going to be off.
Villanova Wildcats still pacing the field in the first heat of the men's 5,000 meter. Ryan Creedell and Jack Tavaglione, followed by Tommy Elwood and Mason Krieg from DePaul. So those four stand above the rest at the moment. And Callie Knott makes her second attempt at 3.8 meters.
Not close. Here are 4 guys in this 500 here. Oh, 5,000. Mid 5. I would like to be 500. If I was running, it would be 500.
Still those 4, and Drew Allen is not far behind, the senior from Xavier.
See, Ryan keeps looking over his shoulder. So you don't want to do that. Just worry about what's in front of you.
Were you a distance guy?
No. No, whenever it runs to 100 or 200 or 4x1, you never want to look behind you. You always want to keep your eyes straight. See what's in front of you. Don't worry about what's behind you.
That was Rachel Mason missing her second attempt at 3.8. Mallory Malls has already cleared it.
I'll tell you what, because when you look behind you, somebody's going to pass you, and you can see right here, here's your pass. But, you know, one thing about it, when you have these long races here like this 5,000, you want your teammates, as long as you can get points too. Because a lot of times you may say, hey, let me block this guy out. Let me block the DePaul guy. And you come and get second place, and maybe we can get some points. We get more points. Because you're going to have to see the 2 DePaul guys now are in second and third. And you can see Ryan is falling way back now. So he jumped out too strong, I think. And now, what did we talk about earlier? Save some strength. Look at it now. The 2 DePaul runners are now first and second, but they were far back earlier. They saved their strength because they know you have a lot of laps to go.
That's Tommy Elwood leading the pack, followed by Mason Krieg. The DePaul Blue Demons, a home game for them. Sophia Whitman cannot clear 3.8 on her final attempt.
Well, 3.8 has been the magic mark so far today.
So Mason Krieg narrowly edging his teammate Tommy Elwood at the moment. 11:09.68 on that last split. They're at 3,800 meters.
Yeah, and what they want to do, though, if they can finish 1-2, that would be great for the DePaul Blue Demons. Well, they look strong. They really do.
Back to the pole vault, Callie Knott preparing for her final attempt at 3.8. Takes the wide stamp, steps back. And she got it.
She got it. Beautiful. 3.8 has been difficult to get, but she made that one with ease.
So Callie Knott and Mallory Malls have cleared 3.8. Rachel Mason's turn next as we take a look back at the men's 5,000 meters. Mason Krieg and Tommy Elwood leading the pack for the DePaul Blue Demons.
With 4 laps to go, do they have enough left in the legs to finish 1-2? Their strategy, and we talked about it in the open, was not to break out too soon. Save your strength for the end. And it looks like that's exactly what they wanted to do.
And Tommy Elwood overtakes his teammate, at least for the moment.
Right.
Those two have ping-ponged back and forth.
And the Villanova runners are really starting to fade. But they broke out so quickly.
Yeah.
I think they just used up too much strength.
Tavaglione more than 3 seconds behind the leaders right now.
So 400 meters to go. Now they may really start to turn it on.
It's Tommy Elwood in front of Mason Krieg. DePaul's going to finish 1-2 in this heat.
Yep. Great strategy, I think, by DePaul. They let Villanova set the tone, set the pace, followed Villanova for 2/3 of the race, then said, okay, let's go.
And we are into the bell lap.
Yeah.
You've got to think for the Blue Demons, too, familiarity.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Helps a little bit.
Yeah, you're on your home track. These young men have been on this track a lot. They practice here. They have meets here. There's no place like home, and this is going to be a DePaul 1-2 finish. And like I said,
Elwood with a strong kick, comes around the turn.
Elwood's going to win it.
14:28.19, his best. And unofficially finishes at 14:33.33. We'll take a look at the final scoreboard in just a moment. DePaul finishes 1-2. Mason Krieg with a personal best of 14:35.54. Same with Tavaglione from Villanova, 14:43.20.
Yeah, but when Tavaglione, when he looked over his shoulder, don't look over your shoulder. That's when people pass you, and that's exactly what happened.
And there's a look at the unofficial results at the moment as Eric Board from Xavier makes the final turn.
14:33.33 wins it. DePaul finishes 1-2.
And the men's long jump taking place right now. That's Mark Morrison. Excuse me, the high jump. Beg your pardon. That's Jack Elder from Butler, this part of the men's heptathlon.
Heptathlon, those, you talk about athletes.
That's the real deal, huh?
Yeah, the best athletes in the building.
Right.
Heptathlon. If you can do that, you can do one thing better than the other, but you are really the real deal. You are a tremendous athlete.
So Mallory Malls and Callie Knott moving on, making their first attempts at 3.9 meters.
Step back.
And while we have a moment, we say hello to the third member of our broadcast team who's down trackside for us over the course of the next couple of days. Welcome, Casey Standahar. Casey?
Johnny, Kenny, thank you so much. We're down here with two DePaul stars, Tommy Elwood and Mason Creek, who just finished 1 and 2. Tommy, what went into your approach throughout this one?
The main one was just trying to stick in there at the beginning, try to find a rhythm, and then we slipped up a little bit in the second mile, but I was just trying to stay focused and get through the last mile. So.
You know, you're tough on yourself. All of you are really tough on yourself. But to finish 1 and 2, Mason, Tommy, what does that mean to you at DePaul? You're doing this at home. It's kind of a home game for you guys.
I mean, it's amazing. We got the home crowd here, everybody cheering, a bunch of parents, people who aren't even on the track team coming to support us. It's awesome.
And to start this strong early in the first day, what kind of precedent does that set for you and your team?
The whole team has been talking all week about coming in as sort of underdogs. You know, we got third last year, just really trying to set the tone for the meet, and I think Mason and I did that pretty well.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations. Go take a break. Johnny, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Casey. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. A season best from Tommy Elwood and a PR from Mason Krieg to set the tone for the DePaul Blue Demons.
And that's exactly what they wanted to do, and I love what he said. You know, we started out, set the tone, stay close, then they just decided to take over. There's no place like home. DePaul Blue Demons finishing 1 and 2.
And the women get started here on the track at the Dr. Conrad World Track and Field Center in the beautiful city of Chicago. The 1 mile run. Grace McKay, I beg your pardon, Shannon Flockhart from Providence.
Again, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Again, you don't want to start out too strong. I let someone else set the pace. I stay close. And then when I have to, like DePaul did it beautiful. Let Villanova set the pace. We know what we have to do. Then they just took control. Well, we see the same thing in the women's.
Flockhart attempting a podium finish after just missing out last year in the mile. Back to the pole vault. Second attempt at 3.9 meters for Callie Knott from UConn.
Well, again, you could tell on the approach that the steps were off.
Flockhart, Emily Robinson, Megan D-Ball from DePaul, Madison Relier from UConn now just overtakes D-Ball. Flockhart, a senior from Long Stanton, England. So if you are watching us from across the pond, welcome to one of the great cities in America. Yeah. Chicago, Illinois, third largest in the country. A city that is your home, is my adopted home. Over the last 2 years. It's a great place to be.
No place like Chicago.
Sweet home Chicago,
Sweet
right?
home Chicago. Boy, 3.9 seems to be very difficult in the pole vault. Okay. But we have 2 laps remaining. Can Flockhart, can she hold on?
So Flockhart draws some separation.
Well, she's getting stronger. She's in the bell lap now, boy, but she's gotten stronger. Usually, you say hold back a little bit, but she's going to win this race from bell to bell, from start to finish.
Her best finish this season in the mile, 4:30.83. And Flockhart takes a leisurely pace into the finish line.
Very impressive.
To finish unofficially at 4:44.31.
That was extremely impressive.
Callie Knott, you just saw, getting ready for her third attempt at 3.9 meters. Here she goes. Not quite, Kenny.
And you know what I was going to say? Did you notice before she took off, before she got to her stance, she looked to her left and looked down. I don't know if something was distracting her, but I thought that was going to throw her off. And I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx it, but it did throw her off. If you go back, she was standing there, and then she looked down to her left like something was wrong or something was a distraction to her. You can't have that in track and field.
Right.
You can't have any distractions, but she looked to her left, and she looked down, then she looked right back up. I don't know if something threw her off, but she didn't make it, and she didn't come close. And we've seen her today do a lot better than that.
Sure. In the first heat of the women's mile, Shannon Flockhart, Emily Robinson, Megan D-Ball finishing 1, 2, 3 as we get set for heat number 2. Chloe Gonzalez of Georgetown setting the pace in this field coming into this heat. And Mallory Mulls sets up for her final attempt. Here she goes for 3.9. And let's send it down to Casey Standahar.
Guys, thanks. I'm here with Shannon Flockhart. Shannon, you really just kind of coasted right into the finish line. What were you thinking of those last few moments?
I definitely wanted to win the heat because, I don't know, I just always like to win the heat going into the final. I think it puts you in a good place. So, yeah, I just wanted to win the heat and make sure that was done.
And you're watching one of your teammates, Cara, right now. How important, in these individual types of races, how important is that team effort mentality still?
It's going to be like nice to have, because Georgetown are going to have a few in there, so we want to have a few in there, to keep a good battle with them. So yeah.
I know this wasn't your personal best, but what did you glean from this race already?
Yeah, I felt good actually. So it's always you never know how you're going to feel, and you're going to be tired either way, so you may as well put kind of a good pace on it. So yeah.
Awesome. Shannon, congratulations. Thank you. Johnny?
Thank you very much, Casey. Long Stanton, England, a town or village really of about 3,100.
That was quite a performance. She was dominant. She was extremely dominating. Will we get that performance in this heat?
You have to imagine they're watching with pride back home.
Oh, without question.
Chloe Scrimgeour from Georgetown with a 147.16 split leads the field. It's two Georgetown Hoyas. Chloe Gonzalez right behind her.
Trying to be like DePaul we saw earlier, 1-2. You want to get as many points as possible.
A pair of Chloes that both happen to be Georgetown Hoyas in the second heat of the women's mile. Kara Laverty of Providence and Anya Hirschfeld of Georgetown.
They look really strong.
Behind the top two, and Malin Ram from UConn. Those five set the pace right now.
You want to just keep the pace. You can see that she's extremely strong as she's leading. Chloe's leading. She really looks good. Nice, smooth strokes. You can see her arms not wasting any movement. Nice and smooth. Getting a little bit of separation, both of the Georgetown runners.
Scrimgeour and Gonzalez, the pair at the top.
Okay, here's the bell lap now. Let's see if they really turn it on.
4:10.67 is the pace set by Scrimgeour. Her teammate Gonzalez 20 hundredths of a second behind. And the Georgetown Hoyas are going to finish 1, 2, 3 in this second heat of the women's 1 mile run.
Wow. 1, 2, 3.
Strong finish from Anya Hirschfeld of Georgetown to grab that third spot.
Yeah, because she was fourth.
Correct.
And she turned it on in the bell lap.
So a good kick from Hirschfeld to edge Kara Laverty of Providence. Malin Ram finishes in the 5th position.
Again, another great performance, a dominating performance from start to finish. You don't see it very often. But look at that, Georgetown, 1, 2, 3.
So that's an early storyline. The teammates motivating one another. We saw it with DePaul in the men's 5,000 meter.
Right.
And we see it in Heat 2 of the women's 1 mile run with the Georgetown Hoyas.
Yeah. You want to get your teammates involved. You want to keep them up to date with you. And again, you want to get as many points as possible.
And let's go down to Casey.
Thank you, guys. Right now I'm here with the Georgetown Hoyas, the winners of the second heat here. Chloe, you had such great strides. You looked really poised going into 3 laps left. What was your mentality throughout?
Yeah, we just wanted to approach this race and all of us qualify as easy as possible. So we kind of went in with a team mentality, and Chloe G led the first couple laps, and so then I took over. And I'm happy we all hung in there. We went 1 through 3, so couldn't have asked for a better finish for the prelim. And going into the final, we're just gonna have extra confidence from this.
How much confidence does it build for you guys when you finish 1, 2, and 3, going into the finals? So still so much more to come. What kind of confidence does that give you?
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, having 3 of us in this heat was definitely something that we were looking to capitalize on, just because, we train in lines, we race in lines. So going into tomorrow, going to have the same mentality. And nothing's ever a given, so confidence ebbs and flows, but today was a lot of confidence, so hopefully it will be good tomorrow.
And Anya, how about that last lap? There was a kick there. What was going into that?
There was a kick, but I was expecting it. We've been working on this kind of race in practice a lot. Literally last Friday, our workout was kind of modeling this race experience. So I felt ready, and it gave me a lot of confidence to see my teammates in their pink little ponytails right ahead of me.
Ladies, thank you so much. Congratulations. Johnny, we'll send it back to you.
Casey, a couple of PRs for the Hoyas. Hirschfeld, a PR, 4:46.49, and Chloe Scrimgeour also a PR,
I like that.
4:45.13. Kenny?
The pink ponytails in front of me, but I love what she said. Chloe G started it, then I took over, and then we get to third place as well. You know, this is what you want to think like that for the finals, because all you can think about, you got to have that mentality of points. Either these are preliminaries, you still think about run it like it's a finals, because you want to get in that mentality of points. Wonderful race run by Georgetown. I love what she said. Hey, our team effort, let Chloe G take it, then I take it, then we get third. Exactly what we practiced last Friday. So, wonderful race run by Georgetown.
The results are individual, but the strategy is not.
The strategy is not. Right. The strategy is not. The strategy is, hey, we want to get as many points as possible as a team. And that's your goal coming in here to today. That's the mindset. Preliminaries or not, you have to think team and points.
So the Hoyas will fly into the finals tomorrow with 3 of the top 5 times. Shannon Flockhart of Providence with the best qualifying time of 4:44.31 as we get started with the men's mile.
Well, these guys are coming out of the gun flying. They are really going after it.
This